When I was reflecting on this talk tonight and I had to come up with a title, I had just finished reading a book named Passionate Presence, which looks at certain qualities of presence. And it's a spiritual book. I really enjoyed it. Actually, Dickon gave it to me, and we love giving each other books and reflecting on them together. And in reflecting on it, I could see how what she was speaking about, in other words, were the principles. Now she had she had 7 qualities of passionate presence, and I see that there are 3. I'm going to come back to that. But I wanted to start somewhere else. I wanted to allow you to just get an opportunity to get a sense of presence, a sense of your presence, a sense of the aliveness in you right now. So I'm going to ask you to do just a little exercise with me. Either you're on camera or you're off camera, it's okay. But I'd love for you to do like this. Like some of you probably know this. You can sort of just allow your hands to come out like this and just get a sense of like almost like a ball being between. You can sort of play a little bit with when you sense energy between your hands. Can you get a sense of a tingling, of something, energy, maybe heat, something? Can you get a sense of that? Now, just close your eyes and allow your arms to come down for a moment. And now try and get a sense of that tingling or energy or warmth in your body. Just try and get a sense of that aliveness that's here. Can you notice an aliveness? Can you notice energy in your body? Notice that presence is not something that we need to find. It's what allows you to be aware of everything that's coming and going. So the fact that you right now are trying to find this aliveness, that something is noticing what is here, that's presence. That's you. That's the aliveness. You can gently open your eyes again. But see if you can stay with the feeling of this aliveness. Now, we have a tendency to think that this presence is something that we need to search for or develop or practice. What if it's who we are? What if it's already here? Always. And the only thing that ever metaphorically takes us away from it is our thinking, our personal thinking, the dramas that personal thinking cooks up. Yeah, but this is going on in the world. This is going on in my world. This is happening in my life. That is all true. Lots of things are going on in the world. Lots of things are pulling us in so many directions. It sometimes feels like there are these hooks come into my drama. It can be the drama of the politics in the world. It can be the drama of wars in the world, the drama of environment in the world. There's so many hooks. Notice that whatever we hook into feels like, again, metaphorically, it's pulling us away from our presence, pulling us away from who we really are. Have you noticed that people can sense when you're present? I was in a seminar many years ago. It was a spiritual seminar with an American teacher who was in Denmark. And he said a sentence that I never forgot. I never ever forgot this. He said, the biggest gift you can give another human being is the quality of your presence. The quality of your presence. That always spoke to me. That always said something to me about this present moment. Giving my full attention to whoever I'm in front. Now, I can't always do that. I get pulled away by my thinking all the time. But I notice that when I don't, I notice when I stay with presence, that people can feel it. Maybe you can sense it right now. And it's not really my presence you're sensing. It's your own. It's who you are too. So when our personal mind quiets down, when my personal thinking doesn't go in 1,000 different directions, and it sort of just naturally calms down, it's much easier to notice this energy inside, this aliveness. That's why I call it passionate presence, because it's an aliveness. It's passionate. It doesn't have to do with passionate dancing or passionate singing or music or other kinds of passion. It's simply the passion of life itself, right now, right this moment. Life is passionate about being created in every moment. Life creates every single moment. And so we have this presence, has these three qualities, three powers, three ways of speaking about the same presence. Mind, an intelligence that constantly guides us, constantly. And the more our personal mind quiets down, the more I feel myself being moved in directions that I could not have thought about. This aliveness inside of me moves me in ways that are so big that I don't have the imagination to ever have thought where I would be today. There's something that guides me in a much bigger way than I can think, because my personal mind always thinks small, always thinks to protect. Don't go too far, you might lose your step. Don't do this, it can be dangerous. Don't take that risk. Do your minds do that too? So our personal minds are always in a kind of a small protective mode. It can also be sometimes grandiose and go completely all over the place. That's also personal mind. But we are also part of, connected to universal mind, this bigger mind, that doesn't have these limits, that knows that we're living in the full potential of anything to happen, anything. And so our small minds can keep us small. Oh, you're not going to make it. Don't try that out. Oh, you've got a good, safe job. You should stay here. So mind is one of the qualities of passion and presence. It's one of the qualities of life itself. It's one of the qualities of creation. It's this aliveness. It's life energy, consciousness, universal consciousness, the awareness of everything, which in our personal lives translate to, what am I putting my attention to? How am I using this gift of universal consciousness? Am I putting my attention to the news all the time? Am I watching what's going on? Being drawn into all kinds of dramas? Am I scrolling through social media, being drawn into all kinds of other dramas? Consciousness itself is still, is present, is now. It's what allows you to be aware. Isn't it interesting that we have constantly, for most people, a voice going on, a voice you can hear all the time, blah, 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 blah. What does she mean with that? Why is she saying that? Is there any proof? Well, it's not like that for me. You whatever it's going on in your mind. Now, have you ever asked yourself, who is listening? Have you noticed that? What's listening to the voice? Why is it listening to the voice? Is the voice so smart? Does the voice make sure good things happen to you all the time? And if you just follow that voice, nothing bad's ever going to happen? Isn't it interesting? It's like we had a radio going on constantly and we're listening. So if we didn't believe that voice, what would happen? What if we treated it as a radio just going on in the background? You're doing your dishes or playing with your kids or cooking a meal. Something is listening. Something is just aware of the voice. I bet you inside your head right now could say hello in your own head. Try it now. Hello. Hello. You can even scream in your head. Hello. You can say it really loudly, can't you? Well, who's listening? What is that? Something is noticing the voice. Something is aware of that constant speaking. It's consciousness. And isn't it interesting that consciousness, the deepest part of who we are, universal consciousness, it's us, it's here, it's now. It never speaks a word, doesn't have a voice. It's pure silence, pure awareness. Doesn't judge what's being said, doesn't mind what's being said. Just present, just aware. And of course, the quality of thought. Now, the quality of thought is what allows us to be able to think. What a gift. Wonderful that we can think so many things. And I know it can be really confusing that Sydney Banks used the word thought and thinking, because thinking is, we think that, oh, he means the thinking. But it's much bigger than that. When Sydney Banks talks about thought creating all of our experiences, he's talking about the power, the aliveness, that which brings all of your thinking to life in each moment. Universal thought, the potential to think anything. So we have universal thought that allows us to have personal thinking. We have universal consciousness that allows us to use our awareness in any direction we wish. And we have universal mind that allows us to live in however way we want. So the principles point to what is creating all of these experiences of life. The principles themselves are this aliveness, this creation. And we could call them passionate in the way that they are always constantly giving. From the moment we are born to the moment we die, they are giving us life on a physical level, psychological level, on all levels of life. We are given this ability to live however we want, to have all kinds of experiences. Now, many of you know this already. And yet, for many of us, we keep looking for this sense of peace. We long for just being present. We know it's a really nice place to be. And yet, we find ourselves again and again caught up in life's different hooks, life's different dramas. And even if we didn't look at life's dramas out there's the voice in my head telling me stories. Oh, you can't possibly think you'd ever become a good football player because look at blah, blah. Or you can't possibly think you could ever take that education because whatever. Seeing that voice, seeing that personal thinking is just that. It's thinking, it's a voice, it's there. It's what seems to cover the feeling of presence, the feeling of life, of aliveness. Just before this this webinar, I went for a walk with my husband. It's spring here, it's evening, the sun is coming down, the birds are singing, there's almost no wind, but the colors are vibrant, so vibrant. It's just I love this time of year. You can almost feel the vibrance of the colors, the vibrance of nature just bursting. We have a tendency to think that we are not nature. We have a tendency to think that, well, there's nature and wow, it's amazing out there, but oh no, I'm not that. I'm me and I have my story and my past and my traumas and sure, you have a whole life lived. You absolutely do. But where is it now? Right now? Where is your entire life, your entire story about your life? Where is it now? Can you show it to me? Is there some way you can take life and and show it to me right now? No. You can tell me about it. If we had enough time together, you could tell me your entire life story as you remember it. Isn't it interesting that the creation of any experience in the moment comes from how you interpret everything that has happened and everything you think will happen? If I ask you right now to show me your future, could you do it? No. What does it consist of right now? Thoughts, ideas, imaginations, dreams, fears, hopes. We could call it thought. You can think all kinds of things about the future. Truth is, we don't know. We just don't know. It's so interesting that we overlook the fact that there is only this moment. Now, this moment, I have free will. I could put on a pair of sunglasses, and then whatever I looked at would be dark. I could, right this moment, I could start thinking about a story from my past. I can start thinking about something in my future. As soon as I do that, my attention in my mind would go to that. And it would be very difficult to speak to you because I would be leaning into a direction that would take me away from this present moment. So what is here? What is here when I don't go into thoughts about the past or thoughts about the future? What's right here, right now? What is here right now is life itself. Right here, always, 24/7. Life doesn't stop. It's not like, oh, well, if I go thinking about something, life's going to stop. No, it will continue to create the experiences that are colored by whatever I'm thinking about. Yet when I'm present in this moment, notice this is from where I'm most capable of responding to whatever shows up in life. Because, oh my gosh, life shows up, doesn't it? All the time. I was at a funeral last week. I have friends who are not doing well at the moment. I have all kinds of things that are going on constantly, always. But how am I able to be the best friend to my friends who are suffering? How am I able to be the best wife to my husband? How am I able to be the best sister to my sister, the best daughter to my father? The best I can be to serve the world as best as I can. Now, very often we notice that there's this one track of the mind, there's this constant talking. And we also notice, especially when we're interested in the principles, we have noticed, oh, there's also this quiet presence that we call the now. So there's the talking, there's the quiet presence. Oh, I really love the quiet presence. Let me stay here. Oh, can I just stay here? Sure. Don't don't bite the hook of the drama. Now, one of the things that I listen to a lot of people say to me is, well, can I trust, can I trust the intelligence behind all of life to guide me the right place always? How can you not? How can you possibly think that your little pea brain is any match for the intelligence behind the universe. Really. How could I possibly think that, my mind, my personal mind, my personal intelligence, my personal experiences can ever figure out what I have access to when I allow universal mind to move me in each moment? How can you not trust that? How can you possibly think that your little ego can figure out stuff that is so huge sometimes? There's nothing at all that's too small or too big for universal mind. Yet we constantly rely on and think we have only this. So we fight, we try, we figure out, we talk to others, we Google it. We do all these things to try and figure things out in order to try and predict, prevent, control life. And we have this passionate presence, this intelligence behind all of life available to us right now, always, always, always. How can you possibly think that your little mind could figure out something that involves so many aspects of life that we can't even see? We have a tendency to when we have a problem, we look at the problem from our little mind and we try to figure it out from this side and from that side. We're trying to work it out. Well, universal intelligence, universal mind sees it from all perspectives, all at once. It knows that this person might reach this person and this person's going to end up leaving a job that then you really want to have, but you want it now, but the person is leaving in a few weeks. So if you apply for the job now, I'm making stuff up as I go, you can hear, but it's just that, wow, wow. It's incredible, the amazing, amazing things that have happened in my life since I started allowing myself to trust this presence, this universal mind, universal consciousness, universal thought. Allow it to move me, to guide me. Now, how can we tell the difference? How do we know that it's universal mind guiding us and not my intellect? Because my intellect's smart. It talks a good game. Hey, you should try this out. This is a really good idea, right? It has this conversation. That's one of the giveaways to ego, to the intellect, is that it's always analyzing, it's always coming up with at least two or more ways that you might go about something. As soon as you hear a voice going into a discussion, pointing out different things that would be really helpful to you, as soon as you hear that, it's the intellect. Because when there are possibilities, there's no clarity. Now contrast that with times in your life when you have known something to be true. Right now, find something in your life that you just know is true. Look for something right now that it might have been change of jobs. Like, I know that I should leave this job. I'm going to do it. Oh, but says ego, but will you have another one? Will anyone ever hire you again? You know, whatever ego starts saying, but there's a deep feeling that this is the right decision. Or it can be leaving a relationship. It can be going into a relationship. I remember the moment that I knew that John, who is my husband, that I wanted to live the rest of my life with him. It was a knowing. When you find in your memory right now, you might go to a certain place and time through your life where you just knew something. Notice that feeling of knowing. When you go to knowing, and we can explore this in a moment, but notice what knowing feels like. When you just know something. You didn't work it out, you didn't think about it, you just knew it. You were walking along and maybe you were in a city you didn't know, and you knew you had to go left, or you knew you had to go and speak to this person. You knew to get into a relationship, leave a relationship, take a job. You walked into a place that you just felt, oh, this is my home. I'm going to live here. That knowing. Usually some of the qualities that come with that knowing is it's just a certainty. There's a sense of certainty, a sense of a quality of safety almost. That's what Dickon and I in our book called Coming Home. It's just a sense of home. It's very comfortable. When Sydney Banks talks about look for a feeling, that's the feeling. It's not a particular, we can't even call it anything. So all the words I'm using is just my best attempt to try and describe something. The best way I describe it usually is a sign, is a certainty. My intellect might, immediately after start argumenting why I shouldn't listen to that feeling, but I know it. And the times in my life where I followed it, oh wow, beautiful things have opened up that I couldn't imagine. The times in my life where I followed the intellect, oh boy. Sometimes I think it would be fun to make a list, if it was possible, of all the things that my intellect, told me to do that I did, and see how that went, and then all the things that I knew were right and how that went. I have never done that, but I get a sense that there's something I can trust. That's a deeper knowing. And it's here, it's now. So presence is not something that we achieve. It's simply a return to ourselves, a return to home. It's becoming aware of this life energy, and to notice when I'm being hooked into the drama.